On the weekends when I'm most free, I like to ride my bike to the beach or even just like ride around town just to get my creative juices started. I'm Dakarai Akil. I'm a collage artist, designer, and an arts program assistant. I've been living in California for a little over 2 years now. Actually, almost three. It'll be three in spring. I recently moved to Long Beach, which is like the perfect area for me to be in. It's really creative. A lot of artists live here in Long Beach, and yeah, it's just the perfect fit for me. So this is the latest projects that I've been working on. These large format prints, and collaging, making the original collage, and then recollaging them from foam core and installing them to the wall. That was the first one I made. Then this is the latest one that I did here. Real easy install. I just use push pins to like prop them up instead of like puncturing holes in them. So here's the studio. Yeah, this is the latest piece that I'm working on here. So I'm gonna cut this part out, install it on top of that, put this one behind it. And yeah, I actually was thinking about making this into a clock. I think it'd be really cool to do that. Yeah. My art style is mostly rooted in Afrofuturism. I grew up in a household that was full of Black art, art that featured, Black faces and things like that. But when I would go out into the world, I didn't see that. It was always a thing at home, but I never really saw it out in the world. So when I started fine-tuning my style as an artist, it started to show up in my style of art. This is kind of like a representation thing. It's like I don't see enough of myself in other people's art. So I decided that I would be the exception to the rule. Collage speaks to me the most because I think it has a lot to do with the process of collaging, like down to actually having to collect the magazines or collect whatever material you're using to actually create the collages. The same way like a DJ would or a producer would collect records to play or sample for their creations or their mixes. It's a huge part of my style. I've always been a collector type. Growing up, Pokemon cards were really huge to me. It was like just something to just collect and like trade and stuff like that with friends. And that moved over to tech decks, and then fast forward almost like 15 years later, I started collecting magazines and stuff like that. The same way that I was collecting Pokemon cards and tech decks and things like that. I find inspiration in a lot of different things. I think one of my biggest inspirations is music and film. A lot of times when I'm working on large projects like a book or something like that, I go back to the same films that inspire my crazy kind of surrealism type of style. Watch Alejandro Jodorowsky films and put on some sample heavy music like Madlib or Flying Lotus. My influence can come from a number of different things, but those are always like the go-tos when I feel like I might be lacking creativity or just need an extra boost. My environment is also another inspiration. One of the big things about me moving to California was about my creative process. I just noticed that whenever I would come out here to visit before I moved, I would always get this inspiration just from the terrain, like the fact that you can experience all different types of weather within an hour of each other. You could go up to Big Bear if you want snow, or you want just like bleak, deserty feel. You know, you could drive out to Joshua Tree or Palm Springs, or like you could go to the beaches in Malibu for like, you know, paradise looking scenery. You know, it's just, everything is close by. And it's just a big inspiration to me, just being able to see like natural artwork. I have a lot of interesting things coming up for the coming year, 2021. I'm actually working on my third book, working on a gallery show at some point in the year. And yeah, so I think the best way to stay in tune with everything that I have going on is continuing to follow my social media, DK1994 on Instagram, This Brand USA, DakariArt.com.